Organizing team, please start the YouTube live streaming. Organizing team, Ritesh Borse.
Yes, sir. Done.
Yeah. Dr. Shrikant. Dr. Shrikant,
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
please ask the participants to join as early as possible.
Yes, sir.
We will start exactly at the time 10:30.
Sure, sir. A very warm good morning, Dr. Santosh Rane, sir. Welcome, sir.
Morning to all the participants.
Organizing team is ready. Ritesh.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. We'll start. A very warm good morning and welcome to one and all present here in last day of our FDP. On behalf of Bharti Vidya Bhavan's Sardar Patel College of Engineering, Mumbai, and Hindi Seva Mandal, Sri Sant Gadgeva College of Engineering and Technology, Bhusawal, I, Dr. Shrikant Chaudhary, co-coordinator of 5 days national level faculty development program on innovation, research, and IPR journey towards excellence, welcomes eminent speaker, faculties, and participants. Now, let's start our FDP's ninth session by introducing our speaker. I heartily welcome most talented, well-known academician, corporate trainer, as well as eminent speaker. Sir, it's a great pleasure for me to introduce you for this session. Dr. Santosh B. Rane, sir, is our first speaker for today's session. Dr. Santosh Rane, sir, was a Dean Academics at SPCE Mumbai from March 19 to April 2022 and was a chairman of examination committee from March 19 to April 22. Dr. Rane sir was a chairman of NEC committee and was a PhD program coordinator for mechanical engineering at SPC from 2013 to 2016. He was a member of IQSC and was a Nidhi Prayas project coordinator and chairman of International Conference SPICon 2022. Currently, he is working as a faculty in Mechanical Engineering Department, Sardar Patel College of Engineering, Mumbai. Sir is a faculty advisor, Space Racing Team, faculty advisor, IIIE SPC Student Chapter since 13 January 2020. Also, faculty advisor, SAE Collegiate Club since 24th August 2021. Now, he is the chairman of website committee and also chairman of startup cell at SPC Mumbai. Dr. Rane sir is a founder member of SAE India Western Section Mumbai chapter. He is a governing council member of SAE India Western Section since 8 September 2022. He is the chairman of IIIE Mumbai chapter since November 2022. Sir is a research mentor for John College of Engineering and Management, Palghar, Maharashtra. He is a research advisor for Sri Vishwa Niketan Institute via MEET, Maharashtra. Dr. Santosh Rane sir has an experience of working as a corporate trainer and consultant at esteemed organizations like TUV, SUD, Bureau, Veritas. Dr. Santosh Rane sir has facilitated more than 350 business excellence projects in top MNCs. He has trained 500 plus Lean Six Sigma professionals and 2500 plus participants in other areas of quality and business excellence. Sir has over 25 years of quality improvement and problem solving experience in various industries. He has offered inputs in various domains like Lean Six Sigma, lean manufacturing, statistical process control, Kaizen led innovation, product design, project management, and CAPA Kappa. Dr. Santosh Rane sir has conducted and offered the training programs and consultancies for business excellence projects in various multinational companies, including Tata Motors, Tata Cummins, Tata Hitachi, Adani Power, Reliance Infra, Reliance Infocom, Reliance Energy, Volkswagen, Marico Industries, IDA Trading Foundation, Amsterdam, Suzlon, Bent Coleman and Company Limited, that is Times Group, the Indian Express, General Electric, Bombay Dyeing, Denso, SD, Atul Industries, Kirloskar Brothers, Mukund Steel, Color Roof India, and many more. Dr. Santosh Rane sir has completed MTech and PhD from Visitia, Mumbai. Dr. Rane sir is a master black belt in Lean Six Sigma from Indian Statistical Institute. He is also a certified supply chain management executive from Confederation of Indian Industries CII. He has also completed postgraduate certification program in advanced project management from SPCE Institute of Management and Research, Mumbai. Dr. Rane sir having a versatile experience of 30 years. Along with above mentioned feats, sir has wide research experience. He has more than 116 publications, more than 1700 plus Google Scholar citations, and Scopus citations 1050 on his credit. That is H index 28 and H index 21. He has also filed total 16 patents, out of which filed 12 patents and granted 4 patents. He has successfully guided 5 PhD scholars, 2 PhD scholars pre-synopsis submitted, and 4 PhD scholars are in progress. He has also successfully guided 30 MTech students. Dr. Santosh Rane sir is a recipient of 13 awards, which includes Fellowship Award, Indian Institute of Industrial Engineering on 4 December 2021, SAE Foundation Champion Award, CII MILCA Award 2022 Platinum Grade for implementation of Industry 4.0 in industry small scale manufacturing industries. National Productivity Award Platinum Grade on 15 September 2017. National Productivity Award Platinum Grade 1 rank on 30 January 2021. National Productivity Award Gold Grade first rank by Indian Institute of Industrial Engineering and Best Paper Awards in various international conferences. He is often invited by various prestigious events and programs for expert staff. Sir have conducted 62 sessions in faculty development programs at in various institutions, including IIM Vishakhapatnam, SPJIMR, Andheri Mumbai, BITS Ranchi, SVNIT Surat, Vizetia, Government College of Engineering Goa, SPC, DJ Sanghvi COE, Somaya University, Vivekananda Institute of Technology, LTCOE, Sinhagad Institute of Technology, RGIT, Mumbai, and many more. He
Dr.
worked as
Shrikant,
an jury, sir,
I think it's enough.
sir, 5 minutes, sir. He worked as a jury for Process Improvement Awards on at L&T on 3 August 2018. He also worked at jury for national level Six Sigma competition at Confederation of Indian Industry on 20th and 29th September 2021. Jury for Confederation of Indian Industry Most Innovative Low Cost Automation Award. Rane sir was worked as a faculty for International Summer School Organization by European Commissions Erasmus Plus project, central of capacity, building and exchange towards attaining technological research and modernizing academic learning in European universities to conduct session on exploring blockchain potentials to transform business operations. Dr. Santosh Rane sir invited Swinburne University Sarawak campus, Malaysia to conduct expert session on unlocking industry potential of digital twin. He was an involved to conduct session at IIM Vishakhapatnam. Sir is a reviewer of Cooper's Index Journal elsewhere, Taylor and Francis, Immerland Group. Sir, I organized 36 national level events, which include symposium, conclave, workshop, HTTPs, and seminar. Sir, I worked as an advisory committee member and keynote speaker for international conferences. Sir is also editorial board member for an international journal of supply chain and inventory management. Dr. Rane sir is a member of various professional bodies like SAE, CII, IEEE, IST, ISNNT. We are incredibly fortunate to have such a wonderful and most versatile, dynamic personality with us for this session. We are overjoyed, sir, to hear you as a resource person for this session in 5 days online faculty development program. Now, sir is going to enlighten us with topic research paper writing and publication. Now,
Thank you, Dr. Shrikant.
now I'd like to request or invite Dr. Santosh Rane sir to start the session and address our participant. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Shrikant. Shall I share my PPT now?
Yes, sir. You can share, sir. Please, sir.
Dr. Shrikant, please allow me to share the presentation.
Okay, sir. Sir, you can share.
Okay. Please check whether it is being shared.
Visible, sir. Please share full screen.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Just
now presenting mode.
yes, yes. Please wait. A very good morning to all of you. First of all, I must thank management of Sardar Patel College of Engineering and management of Sri Santa Gadge Baba College of Engineering and Technology to permit us to conduct this national level faculty development program on innovation research and IPR journey towards excellence. Already the introduction of the program is given to you all, and it is opportunity for me to share some of the things with reference to research paper writing and publication, one of the vital topic in everybody's professional life.
Sir, sorry to interrupt. Slide is
Yes.
not visible. Slide is not visible. It is also in presenting mode.
Wait a minute.
Sir,
Please check
it is
whether
in
it is in
PPT mode.
presentation
Is it?
mode.
Yes, sir. It is in PPT mode. Please share full screen.
But I am sharing full screen right now.
Sir, Rane sir, please
Yes,
press F5.
and I know everything, but I am sharing my full screen right now. I am in the complete presentation mode.
Yes, but not appeared as a full screen, sir.
Okay, because at my side I am at the full screen. Uh, Dr. Shrikant, shall I share the presentation to you? Will you please share from your side?
Yes,
Or
sir.
Dr.
Please mail me.
Dinesh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please send to Dr. Dinesh Patil, sir, or me. Please, sir.
Yeah, yeah, just a moment. Dr. Dinesh, Dr. Shrikant, I have shared the presentation to you both.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Please present from your side. Did you receive it? Dr.
Yes, sir.
Shrikant?
Yes, sir. Receive it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Received, sir.
Okay.
Dr.
Fine.
Patil, sir, please share.
Just go to the next slide. Go to the next slide. Next slide. You are here. Yes, yes. Just a moment. Just a moment. Just a moment. Go back. One slide back.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. This is the first slide for this today's presentation. Okay. Fine. So we will start the session officially. Once again, warm welcome to all of you. Now, without wasting time, we will go ahead. All the respected participants, first of all, thanks to all of you for attending the session. Today is Sunday, and in spite of this particular holiday, all of you are here. So it shows the commitment towards the theme. Today's session, it is research paper writing and publication. Many of the different pieces of knowledge of body, these things are adopted from the various literature, various websites, and the prominent source of these are the Taylor and Francis author service, as well as editage.com. So please go ahead. We have the outline of the presentation as such. We will start with what is the technical paper, what is the outline of the technical paper, then introduction, method, results, and discussions, how to write the title, what precautions are to be taken while writing the title, what is the abstract, what is a structured way of writing the abstract, then what are the contents of the abstract with the appropriate examples, then how to write the introduction, what are the contents of the introduction, then literature survey, what is the purpose of literature survey, what precautions are to be taken while writing the literature survey, then research objectives, research methodology, preparation of the research methodology flow chart, then the results, how to write the results, how to present the results, then the vital part of our research, the discussions, comparing our results with the results of the previous studies and finding the novelty and justifying the novelty in our work. Finally, the conclusions. Apart from this research paper writing section, we have added one more section that is the part of the publication. So few slides are also added, taking into consideration the publication dimension. Next. We will start with need of writing and publishing the research paper. Dear friends, all of us are working in the various institutions at the various capacities. Our profile is built up based on the knowledge what we create. As a today's teacher, as a today's faculty member, as a today's professional in the technical education or in the respective education institutions. It is the need to collect the information, collect the knowledge, then transfer the knowledge and create the new knowledge. These are the three important duties of the faculty member in today's era. And creation of the knowledge is a vital parameter in your profile, because the profile weightage depends on creation of the new knowledge. Now, the creation of the new knowledge is in the two forms. One, creation of the patent, and another, creation of the research paper. So research is being used, the research performance is being used at the various situations. Researcher can use the research performance for the following cases. Whenever the researcher want to apply for the promotions, whenever the researcher want to get annual performance review, whenever the researcher want to get the compensation package evaluations, whenever the researcher want to get the satisfaction, motivation by seeing how my work is being used by others, then when the department is going for accreditation, when the institution is going for a NAC accreditation, then to showcase the strength of our team, to showcase the strength of our department, to showcase the strength of our institution as a whole, to apply for the new external role or new position in another organization, to apply for funding, justifying the retention of the funding. For all these things, we should show the research paper published in the reputed international journal. I request organizing team to take care.
Sir, please continue.
So, dear friends, as a faculty member, as a professional, as a researcher, it is extremely essential for all of us to utilize our precious time in creating the new knowledge. And today we are discussing the research paper writing and publication as a part of creating the new knowledge. Next. So what is the technical paper? This technical paper is basically a professional writing based on your research. So a brief and to the point document which describes a body of technical work having the necessary novelty. Without appropriate novelty, the paper cannot be published. Only compilation of the information and putting it in one format will not justify the publication. That cannot be considered as a publication, and that cannot be accepted by the reputed journals. Okay, just go ahead. There are the types of the technical paper like original research paper, survey paper, review paper, and so on. And particularly another type is the paper published in the journal, paper published in the conference. Now, with reference to the work content, yes, when a researcher work in the field or researcher work in the laboratory, based on the research, the researcher prepare the research article that is called as an original research paper. Now, one of the let us say that there is one of the faculty member who has already spent some 30-35 years of service in his own field, and he has published more than 200-300 publications in the same field, and he is now an authority in that particular field, that particular domain. So this faculty member, this authority is invited by the top research publication group for conducting the review of the complete body of knowledge available as a literature. So review paper is always an invited paper. Okay, so the journal publications, they give the invitations to this authority who has big credentials, who has number of papers in the same domain, who has contributed significantly and shown a complete command on the field. So such person is invited to write a review paper based on the existing body of knowledge and identifying what are the typical research gaps available. And next to that, what are the new research avenues, so that the young generation, young researchers get the appropriate directions to work in the research field. Okay. Now, based on where the paper is getting published, that is the journal paper and another is a conference paper. Okay. Now, let me give you the very clear idea. Whatever we are discussing, it is with reference to the research article published in reputed international journal. Okay. Conference papers are not considered as the papers. Please take a note of that. So, conference papers should not be considered for giving the citations, number one. Conference papers should not be considered or cannot be considered as a research article. Okay. So, conferences are conducted. We have also conducted the conference. We have also submitted the papers in the conference. But conference papers are only and only for networking. And conference papers are published only to show the world that we are working in this particular domain. But it is not the complete work. Okay. And as in many situations, the conference papers are not critically examined to the level required. So it is advised and it is advisable not to include the conference paper in any of the documentation, in any of the citations activities. Okay, next. This is the outline of the technical paper. One is the title, abstract, introduction, literature, survey, research objectives, research methodology, then validation, research and results and discussions, conclusions, research implications, future directions, limitations, acknowledgement and references. Okay, this is the basic outline for the research article. Next. So here we are talking about the introduction, methods, results, and the discussions. So initially, one has to understand to which particular journal I am going to submit the paper. Because before going to write the paper and doing all these things, it is necessary to understand in which journal I am expected to publish the paper. Generally, the supervisor, generally the guide will give you a clarity about it, that the researcher paper should be published in Scopus Index International Journal paper with this particular kind of a impact factor. Maybe the impact factor 5, impact factor 7, whatever it is, or impact factor more than 5, something like that. Then the guide may also give the idea that, yes, ensure that the particular research paper, the research journal is also indexed by Web of Science catalog. So one has to understand where the journal is indexed and what is the requirement of the what is the specific guideline given by the supervisor. So don't directly jump to the conclusion that I will start writing the paper and then I shall search for the journal. Sorry. First understand the suggestion given by the supervisor, or if you are working voluntarily, fine, define in which particular kind of a journal you would like to publish. Our idea is publishing the research article in a Scopus Index International Journal or Web of Science International Journal, Science Index International Journal. Okay. And if possible, try to publish it in quartile 1. That is the most preferred one. Okay. So quartile 1, quartile 2, these are highly preferred categories of the journal. So when you decide your journal, then you have to understand the format of the journal, particularly the format of your research article. Okay. So when you understand the format of the research article, then you can think about the length of pages required for the research article. It may be the 30 pages, it may be the 28 pages or 25 pages. So word limits are given, page limits are given. There are many other things. So one has to understand the requirements first. So what kind of figures are possible to be included? What kind of tables are possible to be included? And for that purpose, the researcher has to refer the already published research article in that particular journal. Okay. It is the vital step before going ahead. Okay. Without knowing what is to be done, we cannot start the work. So sufficient amount of understanding is necessary before starting the work. And for that purpose, the researcher has to do a homework for identifying the journal and understanding the journal. Okay. Just a moment. I will make some arrangement in this display because just a moment. Just give me a little time. Fine. So here we have the overall idea about the title, abstract, introductions, study site, methods, result, discussion, conclusion, acknowledgement, and the references. What is observed over here? It is a funnel kind of activity. Okay. So the title, it talks about what is it about. It gives you the brief idea with reference to what is the content of the research article. The title should give the sufficient information about the research. The title should cover the necessary keywords. We will discuss how to write the research, how to write the title of the research paper. Just a minute. Then abstract. There are the two different ways of writing the abstract. One is a highly structured way of writing abstract with the appropriate headings to the different subsections. And in another way, these headings are absent. However, the remaining information is available in that sequence. Then introduction part. Introduction is important to create the necessary interest among the researcher's mind. So introduction will cover what the problem is, what was the need, then what methods you have used, what are the hypothesis statements, and what particular tools and techniques you are going to use, what are the present studies available, what are the most recent, most relevant studies available, what are their specific contributions, and now what particular thing you are going to do in this, what new knowledge you are going to add in this existing body of knowledge, and finally it will also give the idea about the organization of the remaining part of the research article. So then we have study site where you have performed, why you have performed there, what is the relevance of that particular field or study site to your study. You can add those things depending on the kind of the research. And methods. Here you will specifically mention what particular method you are going to use, why you have adopted a particular kind of a method, what is the justification for selecting a particular method. So these things are important. Okay. Next, you will be studying the results. There are three types of results. One, that's a technical result. Second, it is the statistical result. And the third, business results. Now, depending on a kind of a paper, you have to add these things. In some of the papers, you can add all the three types of results. And these results should give the clarity to the reader. So don't hide the information. Try to give the complete clarity to the readers. So draw the appropriate graphs, figures, tables, and try to showcase the results in the best possible manner. Another vital part is the discussion. Here, the researcher has to put in a lot of efforts in writing the intelligent discussions. So you have to write your own arguments. If the research is already done by some another researcher and you are testing it with the new method or you are testing it, testing the validity of the same, write your arguments, put forth your theories. So discussions are important and discussions need a lot of skill sets. Okay. So another part is the conclusion. So conclusion will be tying all the elements of your research article and giving what are the major findings and what is the significance of your research with reference to the environment, with reference to the society, with reference to the industry. Fine. Now I shall go ahead. Next. Factors to be considered while selecting the journal. I have talked to you regarding selecting the journal. These are some of the factors what you must consider while selecting the journal as a first step in writing the research article. Okay. Writing research article as the first step, selection of the journal. That selection of a journal depends on these different factors. So key message of your article, how your article is going to contribute into the existing body of knowledge and what kind of research article is it and whether that journal publish these kind of research articles or not. So you have to understand these things, understand the nature of the journal content, whether the journal has the sufficient scope to publish this kind of research article. Okay, so explore the alignment of the research article with the journal's aim and the scope. Your article may be a really a novel article, but if it is not going to fit in the journal, then you will receive the message from the journal that your article can be diverted to some other journal for the submission, depending on your permission. So if you permit them to divert your article for the submission to the another journal, they do it for you. So these are the realities. Know the requirement of the journal audience. This is something very much important because for whom we are writing the research article. We are preparing the research article for the other research community. Agree? That research community, other researchers have their specific requirement. Try to understand those requirements first. Okay? And based on their requirements, you have to write the research article. Now check the journal affiliation, editorial board members, previous authors. Here something you have to note that the editorial board member should be from the highly reputed organizations, highly reputed universities. And also check the previous authors, whether the researcher from the premier institutions have already published the research articles in the same journal. Please check it. Then understand the journal policies and the processes. This is something important. Journal may have the different options. Okay. So journal policy, journal processes, understanding the feature of the journal. These things are important while taking the decisions. Organizing team, please take care.
Yes, sir.
Check the format of the research article. The format of the research article must be in alignment with the format given by the journal. Know the publishing options. Some of the journals are giving the open access now. And for open access, they are charging the article processing charges, APC. So these are the typical options available. My suggestion is that do not pay anything for publication. Okay. So we must adhere with the standards. Never get involved in spending money for the publication. If your work is a quality work, the world will really appreciate it, whether it is open access or whether it is the subscription based. Don't worry for that. That is my thought process. You may have your own thought processes. Okay, I respect those, but my thought process says that do not invest one single rupee for publication. Not at all needed, not at all required. And it will deteriorate the quality of our profile. That is my thought process. Okay. So review the journal metrics, something very important. So the journal should be well established in the domain. It should have published some 30-35 plus volumes, and the journal should be available. Okay, so that journal should have the good discoverability. Okay. Another important dimension is the lead time of the journal. So what is your idea with reference to the lead time? See, time is important for everyone. And for a researcher, yes. The researcher who is conducting the research as a part of the PhD program, yes, for him or her, it's very precious. So lead time of the journal plays a vital role in selecting the journal. Okay. So what is your idea? Particularly, the date of submission of your research article and the date of the acceptance of your research article, that we can consider as a lead time. Acceptance is important for us. Publication, okay, fine. That will be after that, after appropriate printing activity and aligning the things. But at least acceptance letter is important for the researcher undergoing a PhD program, because time is important and we need to come out with the research articles. And nowadays, because of the technologies, yes, many research is based on the Industry 4.0 technologies, and you can understand the pace of the change of technology. In today's pace of change of technology, one cannot wait for 1.5 years for understanding what is the status of my research article. Okay. So it is necessary to focus on the lead time of the journal while selecting the journal. So the journal which gives the quick response and fast processing, and at the same time maintaining the topmost quality, that journal is to be preferred. Please ensure that the journal must be Scopus indexed or Web of Science indexed, and journal should have good impact factor decided by your research supervisor, or if you are voluntarily preparing the research article, you can decide your own benchmark that I will publish the research article in the journal having impact factor more than 5. Then I will be publishing the research article in the journal which is in quartile 1, something like that. So based on the above 10 factors, identify which is the best fit journal for your research. Okay, fine. If you have any questions with reference to these factors, you can ask the question. Otherwise, we will go ahead. Shall we go ahead? Or you have any questions? Okay. Next. There are 6 A to write the research article. One is the aim. So what is the purpose of your research article? What is the aim of conducting the research? That should be very clear with reference to the writing the research article. If your aim is not clear, then you cannot prepare the research article appropriately. Then at the same time, one must understand the audience requirement. If the audience is highly professional, naturally all these Scopus index and Web of Science index journal, they have the highly professional readers, audience. So these audience need the highest professionalism in preparing the research article and presenting the research article. Then awareness with reference to the available body of knowledge. Okay, so what kind of research is going on in the same field? What are the most vital research articles in the same field? And what are the specific contributions of those research articles into the existing body of knowledge? And what is the research gap? So the researcher should be aware about all these things. Then articulate all these things to prepare the research article. Organize these things. Then alignment. Alignment is something essential. Alignment of your research article with the journal. Okay, if that alignment doesn't exist, then the research article cannot be accepted by the journal, and hence we say that you first identify the journal and then go for writing the research article. Okay, then aspire for the novelty. Without novelty, one cannot think of writing the research article. Next, Kalavati is raising the hand again and again. Is there any specific question, Kalavati? Dr. Kalavati, you are raising the hand again and again.
I think, sir, she is not having any question.
Okay, next. Please show the slide, Dr. Dinesh. Please show it completely. Yeah.
Here come
So title of the paper is one of the vital dimension while preparing the research article. Please remember that add the keywords in the title in the first 65 letters of the title. Why I'm saying so? Because your search engines should be in position to show that. Okay. Now search engine will show only 65 characters. Please take a note of that. And the keywords must be available in the first 65 characters. And hence we have to write the different variants of the title of the research article. And we have to select the perfect fit research title of the research article, which will cover maximum number of keywords in the first 65 characters. This is the formula. Please take a note of that. Another important dimension is the title should have 5 to 15 words in length. Too small title will not serve the purpose. Your research article cannot be searched by the search engines and cannot be searched by the researchers. Then, as it is not available in the search, your research article will not get the citations. And citation is important to show the credibility of the research article. Okay. So, too small title is not going to serve the purpose. Another important dimension is too big title. Too big title is not at all advisable. Okay. So, title should cover all the keywords necessary, organized in an appropriate manner, so that our research article will get the maximum visibility in the search engines run. Okay. Make sure your research title describe topic, method, sample, and results of study. It should predict the content of the research paper. It should be interesting to the reader. It should contain appropriate keywords. Avoid unnecessary words and jargons. Okay. Try to avoid formula. Try to avoid the abbreviations. Try to avoid the brand names of the companies. Okay. Use a descriptive phrase to convey the purpose of your research efficiently. Here we have shown a sample, development of mechanism for mounting secondary isolating contact in air circuit breaker with high operational reliability. Our own research article published in Springer in International Journal of System Assurance Engineering and Management. So one sample is shown over here as a title of the paper. So here the appropriate keywords are organized in a logical sequence to create the title. Okay. Next. Then we move towards the abstract of the paper. Just go ahead. Please show the complete slide. Please show the complete slide. It is incomplete. Now this abstract contains many things. The first thing in the abstract is the context. You will write the context in 2 lines. Okay. So what kind of research is going on, and what is the specific need of your research? That will be in the content. Then the purpose of the research article, that should be written in the 2 lines. Then the research methodology, particularly what kind of tools and techniques you are using in your research, that will be the research methodology. So write the research methodology in 2 lines. Then findings. What is the specific contribution in the existing body of knowledge? What is the novelty? What is the finding? Please write it in 2 lines. And then the conclusions. Then the impact on environment, impact on society, impact on industry or business. You can write those things. Okay. And then the keywords. 7 to 8 keywords, or writing 7 to 8 keywords is a good practice. So I have given you a structure of writing the abstract. Okay. You can also write the limitation in one single line in the abstract. Fine. So this is the basic structure of writing the abstract. Is it fine to you all? So there are two ways of writing abstract. One, in a structured way, where all these subsections, what I have talked about, like context, purpose, methodology, then findings, conclusion, limitation, impact on business, impact on industry, impact on environment, impact on society. All these are available with the headings. And in another type of writing abstract, the headings are not available, but the things are there over there. Fine. Let us go ahead. Next. So this is the same thing what I have talked about. Content of the abstract. So context, you will write 2 lines, research objective 2 lines, research methodology 2 lines, limitation only 1 line. Don't write so many limitations. Findings, you can write 2 lines, conclusion 2 lines, impact on society, environment, business, you can write in 1 line, and then keywords, 7 to 8 keywords. Next. Next. So here we have shown one sample of writing the abstract. Just go back. Yeah. So here, our own research article abstract is taken into consideration as an example. So title of the paper is Data-Driven Fleet Management Using Mura, a Perspective of Risk Management. So context is, in today's era of technology, competitive market conditions increase the issues and risks related to the fleet management, such as maintenance, scheduling, planning, environment, and so on. So you please write the context, objectives, and the methodology. Okay, next. Next. Take a minute. Go to slide number 15. So here, findings. The Day5 method identified fuel consumption, CO2 emission, coolant temperature, fleet rating, fleet utilization, revenue generated as parameters. Okay. Then micro, mini, prime as the fleet category for the fleet management. Mura reference point approach and full multiplicative Mura suggested fleet ID as the best alternative for the given situation. So you have to write the findings. Then you can write the conclusions, then impact on business, society, and finally the keywords. Okay, next. Let us move towards the next section of the paper, that is the introduction. Introduction should be interesting enough to create the interest in reader's mind. Okay, so introduce your research topic in a very good language. Then provide the available research, recent and most relevant research available as of today. Give the appropriate citations to them. Then establish the problem statement. Write that problem statement with the research objectives and the hypothesis statements. State the research aims and the importance. What is the research objective and what is the significance of this research objective? Then give an overview of the entire paper as the last paragraph of your introduction of the paper. So this introduction of the paper can be written in 1.5 pages. The last paragraph of the introduction of the paper, that last paragraph contains the information as an overview of the entire paper. So how the remaining paper is being organized, with what different sections, in what different sequence, that is discussed in the last para of the introduction. Next. Yeah, please show the complete slide. Many things are not available. Show it completely. Now, literature survey. Literature survey is a vital component in the body of the research paper. Why do I say so? Because without giving the appropriate justice to the literature survey, we cannot imagine to publish the research article. Okay? You must show the appropriate literature survey done with the appropriate emphasis on the recent and most relevant research articles. Okay? Let us show all these things in a methodical way. Now, for this purpose, you must identify what are the primary keywords, then what are the secondary keywords, also identify which different search engines you will be using, and so on. Then you have to specifically mention the duration, okay? Duration for which you are collecting the literature. This is something important. Don't forget this. In general, 10 year is a duration in consideration. Okay? But every field is different. 10 year is a very old research article for the computer engineering. Okay? But 10 year is a good time frame for the mechanical engineering, civil engineering, electrical engineering. But for computer engineering, even 5 year is an old research article. Am I right? So every field is different, and depending on the advancement in every field, we have to take a wise decision with reference to the time frame. Okay, that is the year of publication. Now, the keywords. Matching the keywords is something essential. So identifying the right primary keywords and secondary keyword is something necessary. Now, while selecting the literature, you have to work on when the paper was published, what is the keyword, what is the relevance of the research article, and what is the content of the abstract. So read that abstract and understand whether it is really relevant to your own research. Okay, please take a note that do not include any conference paper in your list of references. Number one. Number two, do not include any research article, do not consider any research paper which is published in a journal which is not indexed in Scopus or not indexed in the reputed index database like Web of Science, Scopus, then Australian Dean's Council, like that. Okay, so the research article which is published in a journal which does not have the appropriate indexing, then that research article should not be considered as a part of your reference list. This is a vital dimension for getting your paper accepted. Please take a note of this. If you add these things in your reference list and if you cite these things, okay, then the probability of getting your paper accepted reduces dramatically. Okay, even if he is your friend, even if your own research article is published in some conference or your own research article is published in a particular journal which is not indexed, please do not use these things in your research article. Otherwise, your new research article will not get published in the indexed, reputed international journal. The probability get reduced dramatically. This is what I wanted to convey. Okay. Now, what to be added in literature survey? In literature survey, you will write what are the specific findings in each publication, whatever you have selected. Then what are their specific contributions and conclusions? What kind of methods, what kind of tools and techniques they have adopted, and so on. Okay. So you will prepare the literature survey with the different sections. Literature survey on the different keywords. So let us say that out of some 7-8 keywords, you will prepare the literature survey of 3 to 4 different keywords. So each keyword or combination of the 2-3 keywords will prepare one section. Then another combination of 2-3 keywords will prepare the second section. In this manner, your literature survey will have the 3 to 4 different literature survey sections depending on the combination of the keywords. This is vital. Please take a note of that. If you don't do this, then you may miss to give the appropriate justice to some of the vital publications in that field. Okay. And naturally, the probability of getting accepted is reduced. So your literature survey must have the appropriate sections depending on the combinations of the keywords, and they should they should give the citations to the existing literatures available. Okay. You can use the different search engines for the same purpose. Then you can add the literature search table, which will show that particularly what time frame you have selected, what primary and secondary keywords you have used, and what search engines you have used. Okay, fine. Next, while preparing the literature review section, okay, there are a few tips available. So many tips I have already given to you. Some of the tips we will read now. So prepare the literature review section based on the keywords I have already talked about. Discuss the breadth and depth of the topic based on the most recent, most relevant research papers available. Then, in general, consider 10-year duration for the literature review. Then do not forget to write the most important significant papers, because your paper will be based on some 2-3 most important papers available. Okay, so your paper must give the citation to those that is necessary. Okay, state the approach to addressing those research gaps. The purpose of the literature survey is to find out the research gaps. Okay, then summarize and synthesize. Prepare the overview of main points of each source and combine them into a consistent and logical overview. Then move towards the analyze and interpret. So only paraphrasing is not adequate. Means rewording is not adequate. You need the appropriate interpretation of the existing literature. Okay. So you write your perspective based on the available literature. Okay. Your thought process, your arguments based on the available literature. Okay. And then you can write the research gaps. Discuss the significance of finding in relation to the existing literature. Critically evaluate the existing literature. Explore the strengths and the weakness of your sources. Okay. And finally, tie them together. Okay. These things are important. Next. Okay. Now write the research objectives. Research objectives are vital. Without writing the research objectives, we cannot go ahead. So after literature survey, literature review, you write the research gaps. A good practice is to write the research gaps in 1, 2, 3, 4 in this manner, rather than preparing a one complete paragraph. It is fine. You can prepare a paragraph, no problem. But I think this is my thought process. If you write it very specifically, 1, 2, 3, that is a good practice. Okay. Then problem statement. How will you write the problem statement? Only literature survey is not sufficient. You have received the research gaps based on the literature survey, but you must get the input from the experts available in the industries. So you should contact these experts, conduct the expert interviews, get their expert opinion, record their interviews based on their expert inputs and the research gaps what you have identified. Now you prepare the problem statement. Okay. So the problem statement depends on the expert inputs from the industries, the practitioners, field experts, and the research gaps based on the literature survey. So these two will give you the idea to write the problem statement. So let us prepare the problem statement based on these two. And after preparing the problem statement, write the research objectives as 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. It is better to write the research objectives in in a specific manner, 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. Next. Next. Now, dear friends, the research paper is highly professional work, and your research topic may be a highly complex one. Now, try to understand that your research article should be easy to read and easy to grasp. Okay. It is a good idea and a good practice to showcase a research methodology flowchart in a specific nature. Okay. So the research methodology, whatever you have adopted for writing this entire research article, that research methodology should be shown in the form of the research methodology flowchart in a specific nature. Don't write in generic sense. Okay. Because generic research methodology flowchart is known to all researchers and the reviewers and the experts. They know the research methodology flowchart in general. But what specific research methodology flowchart you have obtained, if you prepare that research methodology flowchart and added that in your own research article, that will give the clarity to the reader in minimum time. And time is important for everybody. Okay. So in minimum efforts and in minimum time, the person will understand how the different methods are being used, what approach is being adopted by the researcher, and finally how he come to conclusion. So the reader, the reviewer will understand these things quickly, and hence we suggest that you adopt the research methodology flowchart. Okay. So here we have shown the research methodology flowchart as a sample. So earlier it's a fleet management topic. Then we have collected the literature survey. Now this literature survey will again have the different sections. Here we have not shown those sections, but it is advisable to show the sections of the literature survey. Let us say literature survey on the Day5 method, literature survey on the TOPSIS method, literature survey on the fleet management, the literature survey on the Mura, application of the Mura, like this. Then discussions with the experts, then identifying the problem statement, then detailed literature survey discussions with the experts, then identifying the parameters to be solved, then identifying the sensors, equipments to monitor and the selected parameters, installing the selected sensors on the equipment at the appropriate locations, collecting the data from the sensors, analyzing the data using Mura method, identifying the solution. Is the satisfactory, whether the solution is satisfactory or not. So it gives the feedback. Then go to the results and the discussions, develop the guidelines for the practitioners in this manner. So try to showcase the research methodology flowchart, which will give the clarity about your research in the reader's mind and in the reviewer's mind. Okay. Next. Also gives the idea with reference to which particular methods you have used. Okay. This is something important. Which methods you have used and why you are using those methods. What is the justification of selecting that particular method? This is something important. Okay. Just go back. Dinesh, Dr. Dinesh, please go back. Here again, you are expected to write three important things. One, what sampling technique you have used, okay, and why you have used that particular sampling technique. What is the justification for selection of that sampling technique? That is number one. Number two, what is the sample size calculation? And number three, what is the sample design calculation? These three things are very important. Okay, please do not miss these things. Okay, so please write these three things over here. Okay, these things are important. Okay, next. Now, preparation of the tables and the figures. Now, all of us know that one picture is better than 1,000 words. So follow that principle. Refer the guidelines to the authors given by journal before preparation of the table and figures, because figures and tables that need huge time investment. Okay. Try to make use of the softwares available in the market. For drawing the figures, you have the Smart Draw, Corel Draw, such kind of softwares available. Draw the figures using these softwares to establish the professionalism and the aesthetic value. That is utmost necessary. Okay. Technical value is utmost necessary, no doubt about it. But aesthetic is also important, because the things which are not good in first impression, particularly people don't put in efforts to understand what it is. Okay, better to prepare it is in the best possible manner. Okay, so refer the guidelines to authors given by the journal, because the journal give the guidelines with reference to the format of the tables and the format of the figures and some of the things. So it is better to adhere with those guidelines, because you have already selected the journal now. Now adhere with those guidelines. Now ensure the visibility of various components and labels in the figures and the tables. Okay. Then check the color combinations to be used in the context of publication. This is an important dimension taken into consideration. Please do not forget this. Okay. Color combinations cannot be used blindly. It is better to think initially only in what way it is going to be published, and in what way it is going to be printed, and in what way it will be available in reader's hand. So what kind of color combinations I am supposed to use? These are important decisions. Okay. Otherwise, your whole work that may not be of any use to the reader, because reader cannot understand if the things are in black and white. Okay. Nowadays, many things are in a digital form. So that is the advantage. Fine. Draw the self-explanatory figures, graphs, and tables. Try to showcase the values for the bar graphs, the sections of the pie chart, that is the pie, and so on. So write those values appropriately so that with minimum efforts one can understand what the figure is, what the graphs are, what are the tables. Okay. Avoid duplication of the figures or avoid duplication of information. So the figure is also giving you same information, table is also giving you the same information, your text is also giving you the same information. Such kind of duplication is to be avoided. Now, while drawing the graph, ensure the values for various sections of the graph are easy to read. And do not use the figures, tables which are already published by others without written permission. Okay. This is for the beginner, particularly who have recently started their research. For them, it is important. Do not use the figures or tables published by others without written permission. Okay. Even if you are giving the citation, it is not permitted. Please take a note of that. I shall repeat, even if you are giving the citation that this particular figure is taken from this particular source, please remember that it is not permitted. You have to take a written permission from the publisher that you are allowed to use the same figure. Okay. If it is vital for your research. Next. Now, these are some of the tips for writing the methods. Write the subheading to each distinctive methodology. Then explain the methodology adopted in the past tense. So this is something important with reference to the English language usage. We'll be using the past tense in the methodology. Describe the new method in detail. So when you are showing the new method, describe it with the appropriate nomenclature, with the appropriate notations, with the appropriate flow chart, everything in a very systematic way. Okay. It is necessary that other researchers should be in position to replicate it. Okay. Now, the methods which are already established, and if you are using it as a part of your own research, then you can briefly write it. Let us say some of the multi-criteria decision-making models, some of the multi-criteria decision-making methods. These are established. Now, if you are using them, then you can briefly explain them in a short paragraph. Not necessary to explain it in detail. Okay. Then state the statistical test and the parameters. These are vital in your research article. State the nomenclature, notations, equations used. State the assumptions. Justify whether the particular method, why the particular method is selected. Okay. So this is all about the method. Next. There are many things I shall extend my session little more. Okay. If you permit it. Tips to write the discussion sections. Now, discussion sections need your skills. Okay. So discussion sections will discuss based on the results. Okay. Highlight the significance of your findings. Mention how the study will fill the gap of the knowledge. Then indicate the implication of your research. Implications, particularly implications for the practitioners, implication for the manager, implication to the industries. Okay. Avoid misinterpreting. Okay. Drawing a conclusion with no supportive finding from your results. Then explain how your research will extend the research findings in existing body of knowledge. Body of knowledge is BOK. Now there are tips to write the result section. Direct the reader to the research data and explain the meaning of the data. Okay. Avoid using repetitive sentences. Write and highlight your important findings. Use the same order as the subheading of the method section. Then match the results with the research questions. Okay. Your results should answer your research question, a vital condition. necessary conditions particularly. So the result should answer the research questions, only presenting data that support the significance of your study. Okay, you can provide additional data in table and figure as supplementary material. Fine. So this is with reference to the results and the discussions. Okay. And please ensure that your discussion section must clearly mention the novelty of your research article. Okay. Next. So here there are the three sections of the discussion section. The beginning part, the answers of research question provided by the findings. That is the part of the discussion section. The middle part shows the comparison with previous work. So already there is a existing literature. You compare your work with them and come out with some inferences based on that. Then interpretation of the results, the strength and limitation of your study. Okay, write these things. Okay, next. Now tips for writing the conclusions. State the conclusion of your work in descending order of significance. So your conclusion will come out with some of the important statements. Okay, these statements will have the different significance. So whatever the statement having the highest significance, that you will consider first. Then presenting the last word on the issues you raised in your paper. Okay. So you have raised the issues, now you are concluding it. Now summarizing your thoughts and conveying the larger implication of your study. Now introducing possible new or expanded ways of thinking about the research problem. Do not forget to write the limitation of your work. Okay. Write at least one limitation that shows, yes, you are aware about the limitations. Okay. State the conclusions in clear and simple language. Do not simply reiterate your results or the discussions. Indicate opportunities for the future research as long as you haven't already done so in discussion section of your paper. So showcase the future research avenues based on your research, so that your research should open the new research avenues. And when your research will open the new research avenues, naturally the probability of getting your paper published get increased dramatically. Now, conclusion should tie the entire paper together. Okay, that is all about the conclusion. Next, I will take few minutes more. It's now 12 o'clock. I request you to continue with me. Academic writing tools and research softwares. Now, dear friends, we have studied the main body of the research article. Now, we are moving towards other dimensions of research paper writing and publications. Now, there are some tools and softwares available. So, writing tools and softwares are Microsoft Word and LaTeX. It is preferred to use the LaTeX. Okay. Then, for referencing purpose, there are the referencing tools and the reference management softwares like Zotero, Mendeley, EndNote, ReferenceWorks. Mendeley is most popular. Then research tools and softwares available like ReferenceWrite, then online statistical testing tools, Microsoft Excel, Google Scholar, ResearchGate, plagiarism checker, project management tools. For plagiarism check, we have Urkund, we have Turnitin softwares. Okay. For statistical purpose, variety of the softwares available like Minitab available, then SPSS available, Microsoft Excel available, MATLAB available. Okay. So we can think of those. Then for grammar checker, yes, Grammarly, advanced Grammarly, these are something very important and are to be used. But Grammarly, even if you use Grammarly, you have to use your own skill to write the research article. Grammarly will not find anything which is Grammarly will only check the grammar, but it will not ensure whether that sentence itself is correct or not. For example, all of us know that New Delhi is the capital of India. So if we write Delhi is the capital of India, Grammarly will accept it. Okay. New Delhi is the capital of India. So the real knowledge, that logical knowledge, one has to write using our own skill. Fine. Next, there are some reasons for rejection of the research article. The manuscript failed the technical screening due to the plagiarism. As per my thought process, the plagiarism must be less than 10%. Okay. Now people debate on this matter. My simple advice is, please don't debate. Sorry. We do not, please don't invest your time in doing unnecessary things. When it is expected plagiarism less than 10%, yes, adhere with that standard. Finish. No further arguments on this matter. There are the people in the premier institutions also who says that the plagiarism more than 15%, 18%, that is fine, acceptable, these and that. They have the different argument, they have the different theories behind that. That different people have the different thought processes. Okay. My simple advice is, we should have the highest standards for our research article. Okay. So ensure that the plagiarism percentage is less than 10%. Okay. Then multiple submission to the multiple journals at a time. Many researchers, they submit the same paper to the multiple journals, which is a wrong practice. Okay. Don't get involved in such kind of a wrong practice. The manuscript lacked the key elements such as title, list of authors, affiliations, main text, references, figures, tables. Okay. Then quality of the language, tables and the figures, authors guidelines not followed. Sometimes tables and the figures are prepared in a crude form. Okay. So such kind of tables and figures which are not showing the professionalism will create a lot of problems. Okay, so such manuscript is rejected in the technical screening before sending it to the reviewer. Okay, now, the manuscript does not fall within the journal's aim and the scope. I have already talked about it, so need not to discuss once again. The research topic is not of great enough significance. So we have to understand the significance of the research topic. Dr. Dinesh, your presentation is not available. Dr. Dinesh? Dr. Dinesh? I request Dr. Dinesh to present. Dr. Shrikant? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Shrikant, please present.
Yes.
Dr. Dinesh is not presenting.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just go. Go ahead fast. Go. Dr. Dinesh, you please directly go to that slide. Hurry up. Yes, you are here. Yes. Next.
Sorry, sir.
Next.
1 minute,
Next.
sir.
Dr. Dinesh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 1 minute, sir.
Dr. Shrikant. Next. Dr. Shrikant, next slide. Just a minute. Here. Reasons of rejection. Yeah, fine.
It's okay, sir?
No, you are not showing the presentation. Your presentation is not visible. Yeah, go to the presentation mode. Okay, Shrikant, go to the presentation mode. Yes, thank you, Dr. Shrikant. We are learning what are the reasons of rejection of the research article. So, if the things are not clear in the paper, then that is already screened in the screening process and it is rejected over there only before sending it to the reviewer. Now we are talking about the research topic. Research topic must be interesting enough and must have the appropriate significance. If the research article is dealing with the topic which is already discussed so many times, okay, and so many research articles are already available in that domain, then publication probability is dramatically reduced. Okay, hence it is better to think about the significance of the topic itself. Then the research is over ambitious. So if you are thinking about the research which is something showing over ambitious snakes, then naturally there is a possibility that it cannot be accepted. A clear hypothesis has not been established. Manuscript is incomplete. There are flaws in procedures, presentation or analysis of the data. There are flaws in manuscript arguments and the conclusions. And there are issues with reference to the language, writing and the spelling issue. Okay. So these are some of the reasons. All the reasons are not included over here, but these are some of the reasons. Fine. Next. Next. Dr. Shrikant. Fine. There are some common mistakes while preparing the research article. Vague research question. And so, if the research question is vague, then you cannot write a research article appropriately. Hence, you have to clearly write the research question. Hence, we say that always write the research question 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Don't write a comprehensive one single paragraph. It is better to write very specific questions 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. Then misformatting of the paper, using the complex language, poor abstract, ineffective keywords, disorder, uncited floating statements, unexpanded abbreviations, misformatting, uncited, unlisted, incomplete references, untranslated metadata, and not proofreading of your paper. Okay, so these things are important. Before submission of your research article to the journal, you ensure that your paper is officially proofread. Your paper has passed the screening through plagiarism. Okay, plagiarism percentage is less than 10%, and now the paper is ready for submission, and ensure that the paper is free from the grammar issues. Next. There are some top search engines available like Google Scholar, CiteSeer, then Get Cited, Microsoft Academic Research, and so on. So these are some of the search engines available for use. We have to utilize these search engines appropriately for search engine optimization. That is a different kind of a skill altogether. We have to learn that skill, okay, so that our paper gets searched immediately by using the search engine, and any any person outside the world can get our paper easily to that search engine. Okay, hence we have to understand this. We have to learn the skills of search engine optimization. Okay, next. There are some do's and don'ts while addressing the review comments. Now paper is submitted. Okay, you will get the review comments. Now review comments may be the critics. Okay, and don't respond the review comments with the emotions. Okay, it is better to adhere with the standards. Even if you disagree with the comments given by the reviewer, initially you must be thankful, be grateful for writing each review comment given by the reviewer. Please state it very clearly that we are thankful, we are grateful for investing your time for giving the review comment. Okay. Try to adhere with the guidelines given by the reviewer. If you completely disagree with the comment given by the reviewer, then you can write the justification. Okay, but use the polite language. You can state your argument politely, and your words should be soft enough. Okay, those should not create any problem in the system as such, because the reviewers are investing their time, reviewers are investing their efforts in reviewing your research article, and it is a honorary work. Nobody is paid for that. Time is precious for everybody in the life. And when the reviewer are investing their time and efforts for reviewing your research article, it is necessary that the researcher must be grateful, must be thankful to the reviewer, and every single comment given by the reviewer should particularly should be considered and should be responded. If you are not agreeing with the comment, please respond to that comment also politely and put forth the justification, your rationale for not accepting that particular comment. Okay. So when you get the review comments, consult your co-authors and the colleague who is familiar with your work. You will find that the discussions, the brainstorming with your team will help you to understand the review comments and understand the different perspectives of those review comments. Okay. Then make sure that you address each comment. This is something important. Okay. Prepare one table. The table will have the two columns. At the left hand side, you will write the review comment given by reviewer 1, reviewer 2, reviewer 3. Okay. You will write all these review comments in a sequence of reviewer 1, then sequence of reviewer 2, and then sequence of reviewer 3 if it is. Okay. Now, for each review comment, you will write the response. You will write, yes, we accept the advice, suggestion, constructive review comment, and based on that, we have carried out the necessary revision in this particular section or in the entire research article, whatever it is. So based on your suggestion, we have added this particular suggestion. So based on your advice, we have added the calculation for sample design, whatever it is. So write these things in a very professional way, in a very polite way. Okay, this is important for all the transactions. We must adhere with the professionalism. Make sure that you address each of the comment entirely. In case some point mentioned in the comments have already been addressed in original manuscript, and if you feel a particular suggestion is out of scope of the current study, mention these too. So reviewer may be asking you to do this and that, but your research does not cover that, or your research article does not cover that. Your research article scope is not encompassing that particular section, then you have to mention it clearly. Okay, be polite in your response, even if you disagree. Whenever required, cite references, include the supplementary unpublished data in support of your arguments. Resubmit promptly. This is something important. You will get the deadline of 1 month, okay, or 2 months in some of the cases. You submit it before the deadline. Ensure that changes made to the subscript manuscript based on the reviewer's suggestion are clearly indicated. Okay. Now, don't argue every single comment. Don't get unnecessarily involved in the arguments. Okay. If the reviewer has suggested a minor revision, let us do that. That you might not entirely agree with, but it is necessary to comply with and does not take away any value from your study. Okay. So it is better to avoid the arguments and go for the minor revision. Nothing wrong in that. So do not take a negative comment from the reviewer as a personal attack. Try to look at it in a neutral perspective and address it to the best of your ability. Now, avoid using phrases like "we completely disagree" in your rebuttal letter. Okay. So do not deny the request of reviewer for original or raw data. Okay. Reviewer may ask you the original data what you have collected. Okay. So do not deny it. Don't hide anything particularly. Fine. Next. Dr. Shrikant. Yeah. Peer review process. Just go ahead. Yeah, so you can see this peer review process. Peer review process is, just go back, Dr. Shrikant. Go back. Yeah, so you can see a researcher is submitting the research article and the destination is paper accepted. Before that, there are the reviewers who wanted to ensure that the paper accepted is of really good quality. Okay, next. So this is the process. Authors submit the article is assessed by the editor. If the article match with the standards required by the journal, standards established by the journal, and the article is in the scope of the journal, then article is sent to the reviewer. Okay, generally 2 reviewers. Then it is assessed by, particularly the reviewer give the review comments. Those review comments are considered. Based on that, the editor gives the acceptance. Then it goes to the production, and finally it is publication. Okay. Next. So this is a peer review criteria guide. The purpose of the review, all of us can very well understand. A good review report answers the following important areas like, is the work novel, of high standard? What are the main findings? Whether the organization of the manuscript is appropriate? There is a clarity in writing, figures, tables, graphs, and illustrations. Whether the experimental data support the declarations. If not, what other evidence may prove fruitful? What kind of readers would benefit from this particular research article? And in what further directions would it be feasible to take the current research? Okay, next. There are some forms of review. Okay, just go back. Just go back. So there is a double blind review. Okay, then editorial board peer review and open peer review. So this is a different kind of a knowledge altogether, but we are more interested in basically our submissions and those things. Particularly, your paper is submitted to the research article, and then the research article is sent to the reviewers. The reviewer don't know who are the authors, and the authors also don't know who are the reviewers. Next. Hello. Yeah, this is a standard timeline for the paper publication. So you submit the paper, then time spent by the editorial board to give the first response, that is with reference based on the plagiarism, based on the appropriateness of the paper, assigning the reviewer. So within 1 month, the editorial board generally gives the response. Then time required to receive the first review, another 2 months, 2 to 3 months. Then time given for resubmitting the paper, generally 1 month. Then time required to receive the review for revised manuscript, another 1 month, 1 to 2 months. Then time to get the copyright form immediately. Then time to get the manuscript for the proofreading, another 15 days nowadays, maximum 1 month. Then time to get the paper published online, another 1 month. Time to get the issue volume number, depend on the number of accepted papers for the journal. So total time span is around 1 year. And for the researcher who are undergoing PhD program, time is very important component. So we suggest that you have to always focus on the lead time of the journal along with the journal metrics. Okay, that is something important. Next. Yeah. Next. Dr. Shrikant. Dr. Shrikant. Next. Dr. Shrikant. Shrikant. Dr. Shrikant. Dr. Shrikant.
Hello, yes, sir.
Just go ahead. Next line. These are reputed publications elsewhere: Imral, Taylor and Francis, Springer, Millay, okay, IIIE, and so on. Next. All of us know this. This is a simple slide. Next. This is generally you will find the timeline. See, the paper is received on 22nd November 2019. Paper is revised on 23rd March 2020. Then second revision, third revision, and finally the paper is accepted on 4th November 2020. Okay, so this is as good as 1 month time. Sorry, 1 year time. Okay, next. So this is the H index. H index particularly shows how many number of papers have the same number of citations. Okay. Next. So here the concept is given. Let us say that a researcher has 5 publications. Okay, A, B, C, D, E. A publication has citation 10, B publication has 8 citations, C publication has 5 citation, D publication has 4 citation, E publication has 3 citation. So you can understand that here 4 papers, okay, 4 papers have citation more than or equal to 4, and hence H index is 4. Okay, so 4 paper, that is the D paper has citation 4, C paper also has the citation 4, B paper has also citation 4, A paper has also minimum citation 4. Okay, so 4 papers have more than or equal to 4 citation, and hence we say that H index is 4. Okay, now B researcher has 6 publication with citation. So A A paper 25 citation, B paper 8 citation, C paper 5 citation, D paper 3 citation, E paper another 3 citation, F paper 0 citation. So 3 paper have citations more than or equal to 3. Okay, and hence we say that H index for this researcher is 3. Okay, that's the meaning. Next, H10 index means how many number of papers have citation equal to 10 or more than 10. That is called as a H index. Next, this is my research scholar whose citations are available. Next, these are the Google Scholar citations. Okay, now here, this is the Scopus citation. So for the particular researcher, you can find out on the Scopus database what are the citations for a researcher. So here, for a particular researcher, the Scopus citations are given for 58 documents, and the number of citations are for on that particular date. Those are more than 1,000, and H index is 19. Okay. Next. Now this is another database, that is Google Scholars citation. On Google Scholar citation for a researcher, the citations given are 1,700. H index we have already discussed. H10 index, it is 28. So 28 research papers have citations equal to 10 or more than 10. Okay. Next, we have now officially concluded the session. Now, if there are some questions, I will be happy to answer those questions. I will try to answer those questions. I am also learning like you. Okay.
Participants, you may ask questions, please.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Sir, myself, Dr. Yuvraj Chavan. My
Yes,
question
sir.
is that if we have presented any paper in a conference and we want same paper to be published, so can we publish that paper in journals?
You can publish the paper in the journal only when 70%, means as per my understanding and the knowledge available, 70% of the paper should be totally new. Then only one can say that yes, there is a new knowledge. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
These are our experiences, but
Okay, sir.
let me tell you, dear friend, every journal is different, and every journal has its own guideline. We have to adhere the guidelines given by the journal. Okay.
Okay, sir.
This is something important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And hence you have to be very careful while presenting the things in the conference. Okay, because conference papers are not considered anywhere. You simply go to the best institutions, premier institutions, institution of national importance, and see their advertisement for the faculty recruitment, and check
Okay, sir.
what is the how many number of points you get or how many number of marks you get for the conference paper. Those are equal to 0. Okay, so
Yes, yes. Yes, sir.
don't particularly conferences are only for the networking, and conferences are only for giving the idea to the outside world regarding your work, that you are doing that kind of a work.
Okay.
Fine. Okay. I hope I have answered. your
Okay, sir.
question.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Actually, I have a question, and you have first thing an appreciation. You have presented very nicely and covered
Thank you.
most of the topics. Meanwhile, I had some network issues, so I might have missed, and I may be asking a question which you would have already stated in your presentation. The
Okay.
question is, I have couple of my publications in journals. And now
Yes.
when I try to write a new paper, there would be something which will be definitely common in which is there from my references. Now, the publisher has stated that it has got a plagiarism from my papers only.
Yes.
So how to address it?
You can't use the same thing again.
It is not regarding experimentation. It is like basic explanation which I have to give. And I am finding it very difficult to change it now. Because it is like basic explanation. It can be just a jugglery of words, nothing more than that. But then there are certain things like the parameters which I am using, and like material removal rate, tool wear rate, and how did I make my setup of the equipment, and all these things I just can't change it. So I'm still in a situation
See,
wherein
the things which are already in the public domain, those things which are already published, you cannot consider those things as a part of your publication. Okay, new publication. You can give the citation to that. This particular work is already published, and based on that work, the new work is being built. Okay, but you cannot again use the same thing, and because if you start showing those things, then naturally there will be the plagiarism, and your research work will not be accepted for publication in the Scopus Index or
Right,
paper.
sir. Actually, I did these publication while I was doing my PhD. Now
Yes.
I have done some more experimentation on that. Means it
Yes.
is totally different from whatever was published earlier. But my question is, the basic thing will remain same, and I need to explain it because there should be a stream. But now from your suggestion, it seems like I should avoid that and just state that this is the paper from where this would be explained better. It should be like that, right? People should.
You have to give the reference that
Reference can be
the
given.
things are available in this particular reference.
Right.
Okay, and the
Yeah.
nomenclature one can understand. Okay,
Yes.
so
Mhm.
that nomenclature, if the same there, let us say there is a gear geometry or something like that, then there is
Right.
a nomenclature of some typical mechanism.
Mhm.
Fine. So you cannot make them changes in the nomenclature again. Okay.
Yeah.
So that part you can write, that nomenclature we have to exclude from the plagiarism. That note you can send to
Okay. Fine.
journal.
Yeah. This is a good
This
insight.
particular plagiarism is due to the nomenclature, and
Okay.
we cannot change the nomenclature.
Right,
Okay.
sir.
Have I answered your query?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Really good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I've been listening to you since the beginning of FDP. You
Thank
give a very good insight, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes. Any other question? Dr. Dilesh, Dr. Sarosha.
Can I, sir?
Yeah.
Good morning, sir. And thank you very much for your informative session. It was really very, very, very informative. So my question is like from the beginning, in the beginning, you mentioned that original papers and papers published in journals. How they are different?
See, classifications. We are doing a classification. So papers, one classification is the original paper and the review paper. Okay. Another classification, it is a conference paper and the journal paper. So the journal paper is the original paper. Okay.
Okay.
It's like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Have I
Again,
answered your query?
Yes, sir. Again, I would like to elaborate on. I need your guidance. Like the same case previously you was answering just recently. I have also published my paper based on my research work. But by adding some more experimental work in this, I'll be using some of the published part of mine own work. Will it be permitted?
No, madam. You have to create a research article with the plagiarism percentage less than 10. And if there is a nomenclature or some such kind of issues, you have to clearly mention those things to the journal that the plagiarism percentage is based on this kind of nomenclature issues or something like that, which cannot be changed. Okay.
Okay.
So please justify your stand. That is something important. Otherwise, your paper will be rejected in the screening process itself.
Okay.
Have I answered your query?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes. Good afternoon.
So after doing the we are recognizing the clone journal, and even though we which is not clone journal, we publish an article in Scopus. But sir, only for a few while it is there, and afterward it is displayed. It is not displaying the name.
I have not understood your question, sir.
Sir,
Sorry.
Before we do the publication, na sir, we recognize the clone journal. Okay.
Clone journal means
where the journal will apply for the publication, and after some time it will not be displayed. Means your journal will be not seen, your article will be not seen in that particular journal. So we recognize that journals and we don't publish, but which is recognized journal where we publish, and after sometimes it is our articles are not displayed, sir. So what we can do for that?
This is the issue of discontinuity of the existing journal. Even we
Yes,
have
yes.
also faced the same thing.
Yes, sir.
In some of the cases, particularly some of the research articles are published in one reputed journal, Springer journal, and because of some administrative dimensions, some of the financial dimension, I really do not know, that reputed journal discontinued. Okay, so I agree with your
Yes, sir.
experience. I 100% agree with the point
Yes,
what you have raised.
Yes, sir.
So see, when the paper was published, the paper was published in a Scopus Index International Journal paper, the international journal, and we get the same points because at the time of the publication, the paper was in the journal and the journal was in the Scopus database. So we will get the same point. So whatever the value we will get, that value is available permanently. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Have I answered your query?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Fine.
Thank you so much.
But again, we have to. I think that we should ask to more senior person and the person who is from the journal administration cadre to answer this typical situation, address this typical situation, and make more clarity about this. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Bye. Anything? Yeah. Any other question?
Hello.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
It was very nice presentation, sir. But
Thank you, sir.
I want to ask one question. It is not related with might be It is different one. What happens, sir? Previously, the research is basically due to the PhD, because the UGC made it compulsory to publish 2 articles. So that's why the peoples are publishing, or that's why the peoples are doing the research. But now UGC just removed that clause. The publication is not mandatory. So what will be the scenario, sir? How you will see towards that?
You have now raised a topic which has the different kind of arguments and different kind of responses from the different minds. Now, it is how you take it. Okay. See, the real researcher, he really don't bother whether somebody is compelling him or whether it is the requirement. That's why he is doing the research. No, he or she is doing the research for establishing himself or herself in the system. Okay. Yes. So research is necessary for the professional, for the researcher, for the faculty member, for establishing himself or herself in the system at the international level. Now, UGC has removed the publication requirement, or UGC has said only one requirement, whatever it is. That is only for the Indian territory. Why you are thinking about India only?
Yes, yes.
See, there are the people who are in the top 2% scientists in the world in that domain. Think about that. Why we should think only about the Indian territory? It is always good to think about Swadesh. It is always good to think about our own India. That is fine. But when we want to establish ourselves, establish at the international level. Nothing wrong in that. And who said no and who restricted for that? So if some particular organization, even the government of India, even UGC says that publication is not required for PhD, I feel that the wise people will take the right decisions. The wise people will always say that establish the credential at the international level. Okay? And all the premier institutions, they have given the due weightage to all these publications in their scrutiny of the applications for the faculty. Okay? Yes. So, at one side, government says there is no requirement for requirement of the publication for the PhD. At another side, they specifically ask, who is your guide? What is the topic of your publication? How many research papers you have published? And after PhD also, how many number of research papers you have published? How many PhD scholars you have guided? How many MTech scholars you have guided? They are specifically asking these and they are giving the points based on that. So, I don't want to criticize anybody. I don't want to criticize any system as such, but the researcher is wise enough to take the decision. Have I answered your query?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So shall we close now? Is that time? It's 12:45 now.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
So this is Professor Pallavi. Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful session. It was truly incredible. My question is, might be it's very silly question, but I'm struggling a lot because I want to know that what is the correct procedure, sir? So do we finalize our journal first, and then one must write the article based on the theme of that journal, or once we finish our article and then that person should map that theme of that journal, and then accordingly editing should be done. What is your opinion on this, sir?
Madam, I have already discussed this matter very clearly in my presentation.
Yeah.
First, if you are a PhD scholar or you are voluntarily doing the research.
Sir, I'm PhD scholar.
Okay. If you are the PhD scholar, it is the first most important thing that you should talk to your PhD supervisor. That what is the kind of a publication your PhD supervisor suggests you. Whether your PhD supervisor suggests the research article publication in quartile 1 Scopus Index International Journal with the impact factor more than 5, with volume number more than 35, then you have to search for that kind of a journal related to your theme and prepare that list, and then keep it in front of your supervisor and select a specific journal based on his recommendation. And you can also understand what are the different dimensions connected with the research journal selection. Okay, what we have discussed in the presentation. Now, after that, you can start writing the research article. Okay. Because without knowing your supervisor's suggestions, you cannot directly jump to the conclusion. Okay? It is always better to publish the research article in the top rated Web of Science Index, Sci Index, and Scopus Index, quartile 1, quartile 2 journals. It is the best practice. So you can adhere with the best practice, but at the same time, you also see what particular journal is suggested by your supervisor, and then try to see how your particular research topic is in alignment with that journal, and what kind of research article you can write over there. And for that purpose, I suggest that you prepare the list of research already published, based on the reading, based on the list of that already published research articles, that is the reference list. You will come to know that what kind of research can be done. So read the abstract of those research articles, and then through brainstorming, through a lot of deliberations, a lot of discussions with your guide, and you are doing PhD, so you are alone. So you and your guide can brainstorm and discuss and elaborate and deliberate, and then after a lot of discussions, you can come to conclusion that this is a particular theme on which we will work, and then this will be the kind of the problem statement. This can be the problem research objectives. This will be the research hypothesis statements, and this will be the kind of methodology what we are going to use, like this. Have I answered your query?
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Sir, I have one question.
Yes.
Regarding, I have already worked on my PhD thesis topic. Here
Yes.
about 30 to 35% I have done the experimentation, and recently I have presented that work in the conference, one of the conference.
Okay.
At that time, they have said that they will publish the work in the journal.
Okay.
So after that, they have suggested the different names of the journals. But is it possible that same conference paper is to be they will publish, or we have to our own publish that same paper, the same topic work, experimentation work?
Actually, I have not understood your question. Your question says that you have published your work in the conference, and now you say that you want to publish that in the with your own efforts, or they will be publishing. But they will be really, it is not clear.
They said at the time of journal conference presentation before the submission of the topic, they said that we will try to publish, but they have not published there. They said that we will try to suggest you journals in that you also publish the same paper.
Now let me give you idea with reference to the practices adopted by the various conference organizers. One said there are different types. The first type is they get the title with the best brands like Springer or elsewhere or some Emerald or such kind of things. Okay.
Yes.
Now they show that on their flyer and they attract the papers and they say that it is a Scopus index. Okay.
Yes.
So your paper is published in those publications in the form of the Scopus index proceedings. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So that is the conference paper published in the form of a Scopus index proceedings of the conference as the Scopus index proceedings published by that particular reputed publication. Okay. But remember, finally, it is a conference paper. Please remember. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
It is not a journal paper, number one. Okay.
Yes.
Now, your first category is clear. Now, second category. In the second category, conference organizer, they tie up with some of the journals, original journals. Okay. Then they ask the people to submit the papers to the conference. Now, in the conference, let us say they receive 200 papers. So out of 200 papers, they select, let us say, 125 papers for the presentation. Fine. So 125 paper presentations are done. After 125 presentations, they select some, let us say, 50 papers for final submission to the journal, depending on the quality. Okay. So they say that these are the 4 or 5 journals with which we have tied up. Okay. And your paper is suitable for this particular journal. You are suggested to submit this paper to this journal through proper channel. Means they will ask their team member to submit it. Okay, on your behalf.
Yes.
Now, listen.
Yes.
In this case, we have the experiences that we have submitted our paper to one conference. The conference was tied with original journals. Finally, out of so many papers, few papers were selected, and out of that, when the papers were organizing team, please take care. So when the paper, so after presentation, there was a communication from the conference organizer to submit the paper to the journal. Okay. Now they say that they themselves will be submitting the papers. They have submitted the paper. Now the journal is asking for the proofreading, and they are expecting the proofreading to be done by the person abroad. Okay, number one. And they are also suggesting that the proofreading charges, which are going to be something 42,000 depending on the number of pages. Already the author has paid a huge conference fees, and now the journal is asking for proofreading charges 40,000 plus something like that, depending on the number of pages. So all these are the wrong practices. Okay. And we should not get involved in such kind of scenarios. Okay. So my simple suggestion to you, don't have any expectation from any of the conference. Okay. Conferences are there only for interactions. Conferences are there for the networking. Conferences are there for keeping the people aware about your publications. Okay, that's fine. But conference papers are not considered. Please take a note of that. Okay, and hence adhere with journal submission with your own efforts. Have I answered your query?
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you.
So, Dr. Shrikant, shall we close now, or you have any few more questions?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, is it mandatory to publish a review paper when we are pursuing the PhD?
Again, the issue. See, I told you that a review paper is to be prepared by the authority in the domain. Let us say that the industrial engineering. Now, industrial engineering is a domain. One of the IIT professor or the professor in Stanford or professor in MIT University, such kind of a person who is already well established in his domain, already published some 200 plus research articles in the same domain, and having the complete command on the domain, such kind of a person get invitation from the publisher, reputed publisher like Elsewhere, Springer, Taylor and Francis. Okay, so from reputed publishers, they get the official invitation to review the literature available in the specific domain. Okay, so as an authority, that person take the review of the existing body of knowledge and give the new direction to the new generation, new direction for the research avenues, so that he give the advice, he give the suggestion that the research should be conducted in this particular domain in coming future. That is the review paper. Okay, the review paper is to be done, is to be prepared by the authority who is already established in the system with hundreds of publication, and it is not written by self, it is based on the invitation. Okay, in majority times it is based on the invitation, and it should be based on the invitation. And if somebody is taking the responsibility of reviewing a paper, he has to shoulder the responsibility to that extent, and he should have the ability and the skills and the knowledge to shoulder that responsibility to that extent, and he should really justice that. He should give the justice to that work. Have I answered your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So as a researcher, as a beginner, what is your thought process? Whether the beginner will have that kind of a knowledge and skill set and the command and the authority and the profile to write the review paper? What is your thought process? Akash? Okay, fine. So shall we close over here, or there are a few more questions?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
It is not the question. I want to ask the organizer, sir, whether this recording will be available to us, or how we will get that, because it is very informative. So it's
Actually, this recording is available on YouTube channel. You can refer it from the YouTube.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Santosh Rane, sir. I would like to request Dr. Didi Patil, sir, to give vote of thanks to Rane, sir. Dr. Didi Patil, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Srikanth. Good afternoon, everyone. It is absolute honor and privilege for me to propose the vote of thanks for 9th session of FDP. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to our well-known academic, corporate consultant, speaker, and our FDP convener, Dr. Santosh Rane, for delivering such an informative and detailed session on research paper writing and publication. Your expertise in this field has truly enlightened us all, and we are grateful for technical skill you have imparted to our participants. On behalf of Hindi Seva Mandal, Sri Sant Gadge College of Engineering and Technology, Bhusawal, and all participants, I extend my sincere appreciation to you for taking the time out for your busy schedule to grace this occasion and share your knowledge about gathering knowledge of research how to structure literature survey, introduction, and way to define your research objective and work, as well as awareness, adoption of proper research methodology and different way of publication of research, our research contribution with us. Sir, you discuss on all aspects of research publication and writing, as well as you said how, who, and what type of precautions are taken for research publication. Your session was truly lavishing, and your explanation on this topic was clear and concise, giving us a brief idea of it. We are all inspired by your great expertise, knowledge, and we hope that you will continue to contribute in the same manner for such activity in the future. I would like to thank once again for being with us as a inspiring spring your precious time. Finally, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our prestigious speaker and FDP convener, and to all the participants who have positively contributed throughout the session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thanks to all the participants for sparing their precious time and attending this session. Thanks to all the team members, my student team member, my faculty team members for organizing the entire program. Thanks to you all.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Dear participants, announcement, last session of FDP will start sharp on 2 p.m. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hello, sir.
Sir.
Hello. Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Sir, please provide link, sir, for feedback link, sir.
We already placed the feedback link in chat box. Again, I will.
Chat box. Okay, sir.
Okay, please refer that.
Chat box.